It's official. The greatest writer in wrestling history is finally back. Okay, he might not be the greatest, but I guess he has a chance to prove it now. Vince Russo is now a Juggalo, and he has promised to make this show better than Raw. It's our second week in a row watching JCW Lunacy, which you can find on their YouTube channel. I think we all saw last week that Vince Russo is going to be in for a really hard time in this company, but we need to wait a bit longer before passing a full judgment on this show. Throughout this show, they're going to run with a storyline that there is a brand new mystery investor, a story as old as time in wrestling. Someone must be watching because the intro song has been censored now. It's actually a really good song. I just pointed out last week that there was way too much swearing within the first minute, and YouTube punishes that sort of thing. I want JCW to do well. Anyway, the show starts with an actual limo pulling up. Wow! Well, that makes a real change. Most companies are too poor for a limo and just shove their investor inside a tractor. In the locker room, Violent J rallies his troops. He tells them all that they're all jobbers who will always be worthless, but the investor will hopefully stop them from being jobbers. The roster are left to talk amongst themselves about this revelation. Okay, this building looks much nicer than last week, so that's good. I really like the setup, and it looks like this crowd have all chosen to be here tonight through free will. The opening match will be a morbidly obese man called Mr. Happy. He's managed by Jasmine St. Clair, a woman who was ahead of her time, because OF didn't exist back then. She actually has her own faction and a few guys under her leadership. Mr. Happy has taken on the eater of the Big Mac, Willie Mack. Everybody was really happy to see the Mack attack again in my last video, and it seems everybody didn't really realise that he still wrestles. These are two big boys in the opening match. Doesn't seem wise. I hope the ring can survive this clash. Mr. Happy looks to try and cheer up Willie Mack. This guy looks like a member of the Oddities. Russo should like him then. We start with a slow motion pushing battle around the ring. Mr. Happy eventually barges the Mack down. This causes his eyes to almost pop out of his head. Mack keeps trying. Eventually he does knock down Mr. Happy, who dumps in his nappy, but he outsmarts Willie Mack and sweeps his legs out on the apron. The match slows down as Mr. Happy is in firm control. Mr. Happy starts doing a weird dance which brings his manager onto the apron. She tells him to stop doing the moron dance. He turns around into a super kick from Willie Mack and a Samoan drop, which I was completely okay with. It should be over, but instead Willie Mack doesn't make a pin and climbs to the top, and he flies with the frog splash for the 3. What difference a good crowd makes. They were horrendous last week, but this time they were fully into it. The comedy team looked like twins who came out of Jim Ross's arsehole. The next couple of minutes are just a bizarre fever dream on this show. I suppose they're sponsored adverts, but I have no idea what any of them are even trying to sell me on. A wrestling theatre? A strange little boy dancing in an alleyway, possibly a rapper, and then a live wrestling shopping store. Jasmine St. Clair meets with her monsters, Mr. Happy and Congo Kong. She tells them that they need to behave themselves tonight as she wants to impress the investor. She asks the monsters if they like what they see, and they both fill their nappies with happiness. Caleb Conley is trying to have a match, but his tag team partner is stuck in the women's disabled toilet. He can take this no longer and drags his servant/friend to the ring. They're going to be facing... oh cool, it's the Zombie Twins from last week. The manager of this team told us that they would become the tag team champions soon. Who are the tag team champions of this promotion? I don't remember seeing anybody. The manager reminds me of Father James Mitchell with his delivery, and I'm still very impressed with the Zombies' makeup. Now the Hawk has to backtrack on something that I said last week. I said a zombie gimmick can only go so far in wrestling, and like a dumbass, I forgot that The Undertaker existed. Whilst The Undertaker is the dead man, I just never really thought of him as a zombie, but I guess he is one, who then learned to talk and then started riding motorbike. I don't bloody know. Caleb looks scared of the zombies. The zombie starts evading him and works with the other zombie to hit a back elbow. The crowd are going crazy for these guys. They suddenly turn into the zombies from World War Z as they go running and scrambling everywhere. Caleb throws his own partner into the ring, but he gets ignored as a zombie flies out of the ring at Caleb. Caleb almost avoids a sunset flip as he tries to walk around the ring, but the other zombie sprays bad breath into his face. The match continues with Caleb Conley doing a pendulum submission. He should know better, you ain't gonna make a zombie tap out. Caleb's partner is too scared to fight the zombies. One of the zombie twins hits the sliced bread for a 2. Caleb does manage to fight off a double team and drops one zombie on top of the other. The two mortal guys no longer get on. The man called Jeeves turns around into double bad breath, and the breath is so bad that it knocks him out. That's the 3. Apparently this man is now infected, but for some reason the zombie's manager feeds him an antidote to save his life. So he's not really a bad guy after all. Caleb got sprayed with the bad breath earlier. Why wasn't he poisoned or needing an antidote? Or maybe he's already a weirdo, who knows. Fun match. Another sponsored segment later. I wonder how much they charge to get a feature on these shows. I thought it was for a debuting wrestler. The camera work is insane. The investor's limo still hasn't moved, but Jasmine Sinclair makes it rock. She's invited in by a voice which clearly isn't belonging to Vince Russo. Wow, it just looks so fun in this building. I've got to get to the States. A couple of talents make their debuts now. I think their nickname was the Outsiders. Apparently these two are two of the new investors' big money signings who's going to change the face of this company and turn the ratings war in their direction. Well, at least the original Outsiders did have a relationship with this company. They take on Steve and Flo, who has a graphic saying "Don't use Ticketmaster," which got a chuckle out of the hawk, and his partner is Cocaine. Steve and Flo and Cocaine get started with a side slam elbow drop combination. The crowd chant "Fuck him up." They don't like these Outsiders. Steve and Flo is hit with a missile dropkick leg sweep combination, but he's still got something in the tank and he hits an enziguri. Steve and Flo now does the stage dive and makes the tag. The Outsiders just can't keep up with his energy. He dives out of the ring. Steve and Flo plants the other Outsider and now Kane is back. A strange substance flies through the air of the building which fires up Cocaine for some reason and they get the victory soon after. Another sponsorship segment sees a deranged visually impaired individual rapping in a club. This one features such incredible lyrics as "Make it clap clap clap, I want that pussy in my lap lap lap." Louis V all over me. This ain't Lacoste boy, you can't afford what this costs boy. And who of course can forget, I'm the one homie, you walking around like a bum homie. If you're interested in supporting this Make-A-Wish rapper, go cop this critically acclaimed single, Whack Kid, Back It Up. Out at Virgin, HMV and Walmart stores this Christmas. Back at the limo, Jasmine Sinclair wipes something off her top and thanks the investor for the meeting. She fondly strokes the car goodbye. Elsewhere backstage, Willie Mack is trying to understand what an investor is. Too Tough Tony is concerned for the future of not just the world, but also this company. He has seen the guys come and go from this company over 25 years. Mostly go, except him. He is worried that his spot in this company is now under threat. Not his bald spot, not his liver spot, not his dog spot, not his acne spot, but his spot. These two geniuses decide to go and find Violet J to ask him if they're losing their jobs. I like how they both check each way as they exit their locker room, like a turning into a busy main road. Like they're a fucking wide van. They're a lorry. Our wing mirror cannot see these pedestrians. Get the fuck out of it. We come back to the ring where the cameraman has managed to find a butt to zoom in on. Cowboy Chuck Yeager stumbles down the ramp. He's having a fatal four-way facing Ring of the Hawk legend Congo Kong. He looks pretty much the same, although I guess that's what happens when you wear face paint. Some Pirates of the Caribbean theme music starts playing. This is the man of 1,000 gimmicks, Mike Black Skull. This must be a fun gimmick to do. Every night is different and nothing matters if it doesn't get over. Sounds like it's fun to be him. His tag team partner is the Ninja Mack. Jasmine Sinclair throws a parrot into the crowd. Congo Kong tries to eat another parrot. The pirate tries to stab him and the match is underway. The pirate smashes Congo in the corner and screams "Yah!" The other two guys decide to have a wrestling match, a strange concept. The Ninja Mack is still a lot of fun to watch. The cowboy tries to stomp on the pirate's wooden leg, which of course doesn't work, and he's yelling out, "It's a peg leg, you idiot." He puts that peg leg to good use too before Congo Kong returns. Surprisingly, there's a lot of chicks in this crowd too. I'm not sure if they were plants or if they're just here to meet the new investor. Congo Kong hits a big suplex throw now. He starts squashing people around the ring. He gets a 3 for the price of 1. Then he hits a cannonball on all 3. He starts suplexing guys, but the Ninja Mack escapes and gives him a wedgie. The pirate saves Congo Kong. Ninja Mack starts doing awesome stuff, but Congo Kong has been left alone in the ring for too long and he hits a Rikishi driver type move to win the match. This guy's moveset continues to expand and so do his tits. What could this mean for Jasmine Sinclair and her client Congo Kong? Well, we might find out now because Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack have located Violent J. He tells them that they need to trust him because he's always had their backs. I like the next bit where he says he plans on meeting the investor soon, but Tony points out the investor has been parked outside the whole show. Violent J then dumps in his nappy like he should probably be doing something about that, like rolling out the red carpet. Or, finding an extra long pole to shove up Russo's ass. Violent J's hair looks like a seagull dumped on his head. Now an advert plays telling us that we need to bring our fat friends along to catch the next JCW show. Mr. Anderson is advertised for this fat-friendly show. They try to bribe us with a free turkey leg. This advert was funny, but no time for that because the zombies have found the limo and they're trying to bite the window open. Their keeper drags them away. Violent J is told to climb into the limo. His face is already white though. I have to admit, this show is entertaining me so far. It's packed with personality, which was missing from the last JCW show I watched. The main event tonight will be the CrossFit Matt Fit, and he takes... Matt Cross. And he takes on your homie, my homie, Too Tough Tony. Here comes his extra long entrance, bribing the fans to cheer for him with his drink. He almost tips Bacardi all over a baby. I can't believe how many women are in this crowd. It looks like they're all here to have a good night after this. Man, that clown is freaky. Will we find out who the mystery investor is by the end of the night? Matt Cross doesn't understand why the fans don't embrace him as a hero. Has he tried offering them booze or substances? That seems to work well around here. They fight around the outside. A girl in the crowd hits the worst chop that I've ever seen. Another one does it better. She dumps on her thong with happiness. This girl is a future serial killer. Now a slap to the face. Tony is having a great old time in there. A little girl gives a nipple cripple. What a lovely entertainment show this is. We finally make it to the ring where Matt Cross escapes 20 punches in the corner and flattens Tony. He heals on the crowd for ages. I think I love this arena. You just watch this and wish you were there. You just want to be happy like these guys are, not shoved in your mum's basement. Cross does a frantic elbow drop for a 2. He then gets another near fall off a standing moonsault. Cross misses a cross wheel in the corner and somehow Tony no-sells the crisscross and he smacks Matt Cross down. The crowd all chant "You suck," but both men are down on the mat, so I'm not sure who it's aimed at. Back on their feet and Tony is fired up now. He hits the smack attack and a slam and he somehow hits a moonsault off the ropes, just a 2. They almost botch a buckle bomb and then straight into a brainbuster. He drops him right on his bald head, but just a 2. Tony picks up Cross, whose boot lightly brushes the referee in the eye, and this is a ref bump. Matt Cross hits a smack to the slash zone, but just a 2. Tony now stops Cross from diving across the ring. He gets distracted by his alcohol though, and he tips it on his hands and then collapses to the mat. Cross somehow doesn't realise that he's playing possum and he misses to cross the ring, and Tony throws a fireball into his face for the 3. Not sure why the ref needed to be bumped for a low blow earlier, but he's completely fine with a fucking fireball to the face. Standard Vince Russo really, isn't it? Don't you just love him? Honestly, this match was just a lot of fun, but I'm not really sure why. I wonder how much those front row tickets are. I bet you don't need to sell your mum's entire dirty knicker drawer for it. And why your mum has an entire drawer full of dirty ones is beyond the hawk. I think this show is messing with my brainwaves. It shouldn't surprise me. Vince Russo wrestling shows are known for knocking points off your IQ. In the back, it's the mystery investor time. It's Big Vito. Who remembers that guy? He was in WCW and that other company. He wore a dress. He's quite happy to be here, but continues walking down the corridor where he finds Steve and Flo. He says, "What the fuck are you doing here, you geek?" I can't stop laughing, this show is funny. He wants to take a piss, but then he notices that cocaine is spraying in his urinal. Vito tells him, "We can't have this gimmick here." Vito tells him to get out of the company. For some reason, Violent J teleports into the toilet and tries to explain that Q-Keen is a wrestler. Vito says we can't have this garbage here and fires him. Everybody realises how bad it stinks in here and they leave. I have to say I quite like the plot twist of Vito being the mystery investor rather than it straight up being Vince Russo. Perhaps he has learned from his past mistakes. He really doesn't need to be a character, he should just concentrate on his writing. Yeah, far more enjoyable show than last time. The crowd and the arena did help. Some very funny moments, some good characters. I think for them, it will be all about trying to find some sort of balance between serious wrestling and having a good old time. There isn't really enough guys on this roster who look like ass kickers, and that will turn fans off and stop them from giving you the time of day. But if you can manage to look past that, there's actually a lot going on here. The show has a soul. And that's been missing from a lot of wrestling nowadays. And Vito returning to wrestling? It's incredibly random. But anyway, watch this show and tell the mandem.